Well, we can go into business.
Sure. This is John. He's clipping the roots out of the hole right now.
Brains, I'm the brawn.
He doesn't know I'm taking a video yet. We're tapping this spring, and we're going to put a sanitary tap in it and try to document it as much as I can. So do the best we can here.
I'm not getting any blockage.
This is the pipe we're going to use to install, and with the screen top. I used to use a 1/2-inch pipe, but I found it plugged up with soot. So now I've gone to a 2-inch pipe to prevent that problem. We've determined the ditch behind the dam needs to be dug deeper so the pipe could be sunk deeper in the front. So John is now digging out the ditch in the back of where we're going to tap the spring. John's dug out the ditch for the pipe, and we've laid the pipe in just to give you an idea how we're going to lay it. We need to dig the green part, or the inlet, in deeper, so that level is right where the water is going to come in. Okay, we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, John's got the ditch dug properly. There's a slight slope on the pipe. We have the green inlet back right in the middle of our little hole where we're going to make a little sink out of clay. And we're off to the next step, which is starting to put some clay in and making a little bowl for it. John's now putting the clay in around the pipe. He's trying to build a little sink. What you want is a clay rising from the inlet of the green pipe slowly up to the sides, enough to make a small sink so no water sits in there. All the water should flow out the pipe, leaving no little places for it to collect in there.
Oh, I see what's going on. So okay. You bring the clay up to that lip, and then it goes over the lip and goes into the pipe.
That's right, and you take all the water and don't leave any in there, so if you don't leave water in there, there's nothing to get contaminated. And John's continuing to make the little sink bowl of clay that catches the water that's coming out of the spring to get it into the pipe. He's just about got the bowl part made, and we'll get in for a picture a little later. Okay, John has put a good part of the clay in. He's forming a little bowl. The water's coming in the right side, which you probably can't see. But now we're going to start to build it up and come and start building a little dam out of the clay. If we have enough. We found some of our clay is dry. Maybe we can work it, maybe we can't. If we don't have this, we're using ceramic potter's clay. If you don't have that, the really best thing is to go find some blue clay from one of these springs. It's a little tougher stuff. Okay, we're going to move on. Here's John working away. He's mixing up some clay. It got a little hard, so he's trying to get some water back into it. You can see our hole off to the right. There's a good chance we're going to look for some blue clay by digging here and there to make the better part of the dam of. This is a shot of our spring area. We're digging a hole in the ground. John started to build a dam, but we don't have any more good clay, so he's gone to find some blue clay in another spring. But here's what he has so far. We've got the clay around the green strainer that water goes down. We back the water up with a little dam. We're going to run clay up the side of the dam in the front so water can't leak through the dam, and then we're going to make a place for the water to go over the top in the wintertime. Then we're going to put rocks and some other things in there. So far, this is what we have. Boy, that's a lot of water for this area. John's digging for some clay. We were looking for blue, but he found some tan stuff that's got some nice clay in it. Now we're collecting some of this to finish building our little dam, and then also finish building our little sink.
Mining clay.
John's gotten into some better clay than we had when we started, so I had him dump the bucket out and get this better stuff. It has a little more moisture in it, and I think it'll smooth around in the dam better. So we're going to pack this on back to the dam, which is, I don't know, a couple hundred yards off to the back of us. John's softening up some of the clay we found so it's more pliable. He's doing that by mostly just working it back and forth. Got a little tiny bit of water he adds once in a while, but mainly you just work it in your hand, knead it, and it softens up really nice. Then we're going to replace the white clay that we put in there that's falling apart on us, the ceramic clay, and recoat anything with this good clay. Okay, John's pushing some of the clay we got from the other spring into the hole. We took the white clay out because it was dissolving on us, and we're replacing it with this tannish clay. And we're going to continue to do this, building up the little basin and building the clay so there's a layer up against the dam. The dam's not going to be very high, only a little bit higher than the green screen we put in there, maybe 2 inches above that. The best is to keep a small dam, then you don't need a lot of material to work with. You notice we don't have any backhoes or big machinery in here, wheelbarrows. This is all little hand stuff. So if you keep the hole small, you don't need a lot of materials. If you make the hole big, it's just a place for contamination to get in, and it takes a lot more materials to do this. So think small. John's been working on building the sink up with clay, and we replaced some of the bad dirt we put in earlier with clay. Plus we took the ceramic clay out that was bad and replaced it with clay we found in the woods. Right now he's off getting more clay, but I thought you should have a look to see what he's done so far. You can see our water collector at the bottom of the sink. As we come forward toward us, we're building the dam up with clay. In the wintertime, there's a lot of water comes down there, so we have to make provisions for it to go over the top of this dam and not wash the dam out. So we're going to put clay in the spillway part, building our dam out of it. Here we are a little closer up so you can get a better idea of what's going on here. You can see all the water. I don't know how much water is coming down here. We'll have to measure it later. You can see the green strainer, the green strainer. That's a downspout thing you put on the roof to keep leaves out of your downspouts. You get it at any hardware store. And then I've used 2-inch pipe underneath of that. I had to file down the end of the 2-inch pipe a little bit to get the green thing to fit over it. Eventually I'm going to put a stainless steel screen over this whole thing once we get the rest of the clay inserted. So right now I'm off to find John at the other spring while he's digging out some more clay. Things look pretty good up till now anyway. John has put clay in around the dam and built the dam. We've got sort of like a bathroom sink in there so water goes down to the green thing. And on top of that we placed a stainless steel screen, little box to keep roots and critters out of there. Now we're ready to put some rocks around this, and we got to go find some in the forest here. John's starting to put rocks around the screen now. We're going to fill that whole hole full of rocks, and then we're going to cover it with a piece of plastic. So if we fill the hole full of rocks, and there's no place for critters and stuff to get in there. Here's John gathering rocks. There's some shale here of different sizes. You can see the different sizes. And we're going to put this over the top of the screen to fill up the hole with rocks and provide cracks for the water to get into the drain. So we're going to get a couple buckets of these, or at least John is. Okay, John's filled in the hole with rock around the screen, and you can see the clay dam, the rock on the back, and now we're going to put a piece of plastic over the rock and coming over the dam so winter water can flow out between the dam and the plastic. Plastic will sort of seal the hole and keeps us from using a lot more material. Okay, we've moved right along here. John has got the plastic ends held down with rocks. It basically seals the bottom part. And then we've just thrown this wood stuff over because we have wild pigs and wild animals here. And we need to give the thing a little protection so things don't get ripped out. We have it so now when the winter rains come, they should wash underneath the plastic and the water should run down past me. So right now all we got to do is sort of cover it up a little bit. Okay, John's putting on the pipe that reduces it down to our 3/4 pipe. We have a 1/2 inch plastic coupling in there which will slip inside a 3/4 inch plastic pipe. We intentionally aren't going to glue this joint because we might need to take this part apart to see if water's coming down and also to clean some silt out if it builds up in this area. So no glue here. Okay, we finished the spring. It's all sealed up and we've thrown these pieces of wood on here because we have wild pigs in the area and we just want to keep them from pushing their snout in here. But you can hear the spring gurgling because we're sucking the water down the hill. We measured it. We have 6 gallons a minute, which is a good spring in this area. So we basically sealed it all up now and we're ready to go home. All we got to do is enjoy the water.